Good morning, students. Let's start with a new chapter, that is chapter 13, Direct and Inverse Proportions. Let's start with the introduction. There are so many situations in our life where we see some direct or indirect relationship between two things. So here we are seeing some direct and indirect relationship. That means there are some things where one thing is increasing, the other thing will also increase directly. And sometimes there is a relation where one thing is increasing, the other will decrease. So that we will study here, that is in direct and indirect inverse proportion. So if the number of things purchased is increasing, then the amount to be paid will also increase. That is, if we are buying some things in the store, so what is it is, if the number of things is increasing, the amount will also increase. That is, number of things is increasing, the amount will also increase. If 5 things we are purchasing, the amount will be according to 5 number of things, and if the number of things is 6, so the amount will also increase. So this particular thing, it is known as direct proportion. And next is, if the speed of the car will increase, if we are driving a car and the speed of the car is increasing, then the time to reach the destination will decrease. Time to reach that destination will decrease automatically. How? Because if the speed of the car is slow, so it will take more time to reach that particular destination. But if the speed is high, so the time will decrease to reach that destination. So it is basically inverse proportion. So if both the things are increasing, that is here number of things and amount are increasing, so that is direct proportion. Here one of the thing is increasing, that is speed is increasing, but the time to reach the destination will decrease. So here one thing is increasing, the other will decrease. So it is known as inverse proportion. Let's find out in detail later on. Variations. If the value of two objects depend upon each other in such a way that the increase or decrease in the value of another object, then these two objects are said to be in variation. It is nothing but, as I have told earlier, if one particular value is increasing, it is depending on the other. So there is a variation in each other, in each values. So that is known as variation. Now, direct proportion. What is direct? I've already said earlier, when two quantities A and B are said to be in direct proportion if, what is the condition? Increase in A increases B. If A is increasing, B will also increase. Decrease in A decreases the B. If A is decreasing, B will also decrease. So this is nothing but direct proportion. Let's take an example of direct proportion and derive a formula. Suppose a car uses 4 liters of petrol to travel a distance of 60 kilometers. How far will it travel using 12 liters? So 4 liters, that car is traveling 60 kilometers. So in 12 liters, how many? You have learned about cross multiplication. Let's do by that method. 12 multiplied by 60, 12 multiplied by 60 divided by 40. That will give you 180 kilometer. So in 4 liters, 60 kilometer the car is traveling. So in 12 liters, it will travel 180 kilometers. That is the directly that we are doing cross multiplication. If we will express this, let's see here. Petrol in liters, I have taken the value, the variable x, and distance in kilometer as y. Suppose x is, that is the petrol in liters is 4, so we can travel 60 kilometers, and if it 8, so and so it will go up to 12. If in 12 liter petrol, it travels 180 liter. So likewise, what it is doing, it is directly increasing. If the liters number of petrol in liters is increasing, so distance in kilometer will also increase. So we find that as the value of x increases, value of y also increases. That we see here in such a way that the ratio is, what is the ratio? X by y. That it is a constant. The ratio is increasing. No, only the values are increasing. The ratio remains the same. Let's see. Does not change. The ratio of xy does not change. It remains constant. What is the ratio here? If we are doing 4 by 60, we are getting it as 1 by 15. Okay, and what is the ratio of 12 by 180? We are getting the same ratio, that is 1 by 15. Okay, so here the values are changing but the ratio remains the same. So this is nothing but direct proportion. We say that x and y are in direct proportion if x by y is equal to k. What is k? K is a constant value, or we can write it as x is equal to ky. So when x and y are in direct proportion, we can write it as, this is our direct formula for direct proportion, that is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. Cost of, now let's take an example. Cost of 5 meters of a particular quality of cloth is rupees 210. Tabulate the cost of 2, 4, 10 and 13 meters of cloth. So suppose x and y is given to us, that is for x we have to find, no, already x, all the values of x are given to us, 2, 4, 5, 10 and 13. These are the meters. And what is the cost is given in y, variable y. y2 we have to find, y3 for 5 meters it is given 210. We have to find for the rest. Now x1 we have got, that is equal to 5, y1 is there 210, x2 if we are taking 2 and y2 we have to find. So if we put it into the value, that formula, that is x1 by y1 is equal to x2 by y2. What is x1? We have taken 5. So 5 I am writing here. What is y1? 210. What is x2? 2. And y2 we have to find. So we already know how to do the cross multiplication. 5 y2 is equal to 2 multiplied by 210. y2 is equal to 2 multiplied by 210 by 5, that is equal to 84. So y2 is 84. The next, if we have find this, now we have to find y3. So likewise we can do all the steps. Now here what we can do is x3 is equal to 4. 4 is there, and then we have to directly put this value into this formula, where x1 y1 will remain same, that is 5 by 210. Instead of x2 y2, what will come? x3 y3. What is the value of x3? That is 4, and y3 we have to find. So if we cross multiply it, then 5 y3 is equal to 4 multiplied by 210. y3 is equal to 4 multiplied by 210 by 5, that is equal to 168. So y3 is equal to 168. So this is the way we have to find the values, by putting the value in this formula. Okay, and the ratio of all these values will be same. So y4 and y4 and y5, like this way you can find out. Here again the same formula I have used. x4 is equal to 10 is there, y4 we have to find out. 5 by 210 x1 y1 and x4 y4. So this way y4 is equal to, we are getting 420, and x5 is equal to 13. y5 we have to find out. x1 y1 is equal to x5 y5. y5 is equal to 13 multiplied by 210 by 5, that is equal to 546. Now what is the symbol of proportion? When two quantities A and B are in proportion, then they are written as A directly proportional to B, or A proportion to B, where proportion, this is the symbol of proportion, is to proportion, we have read A is to proportion B. This way we are speaking. So let's start with inverse proportion now. What is inverse proportion? When two quantities may change in such a manner that if one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases, and vice versa. So two quantities are given to us in such a manner that if one quantity, I have already told, in inverse proportion, if one quantity is increasing, the other quantity will decrease. Let's take an example. as the number of workers increases. In a unit, if number of workers are increasing, the time taken to finish the job decreases, because number of people to work for that job is more, so the job will get done in less time. So two quantities A and B are said to be in proportion, inverse proportion. How? If increase in A, if the value of A is increasing, then B will decrease. Or if there is a decrease in B, the decrease in A, the B will increase. So it is inversely proportional. In direct proportion, what we have seen, if A is increasing, B will also increase, and if A is decreasing, B will also decrease. But in indirect proportion, if one quantity is increasing, the other will decrease. So A is increasing in one, then B will decrease in second. If there is a decrease in A, there will be increase in B. So this is nothing but indirect proportion, or you can say inverse proportion. But the ratio of their respective values must be same. Whatever the decrease and increase will be there, it will be inverse, but their ratio, whatever ratio we are finding, it will be same. And how it is represented? A and B will be in inverse proportion if K is equal to AB. So K is our constant value, is equal to AB. In such a case, if B1, B2 are the values of B corresponding to values of A1, A2. What is corresponding means? If B1 is increasing, A1 will decrease. If B2 is increasing, A2 will decrease. Then what will be the formula? A1, B1, it is in multiplication, is equal to A2, B2. That is equal to K. And we are denoting it as A inversely proportional to B, you can say, or you can say it A proportion to 1 by B. So A1 B1 is equal to A2 B2. So if we are writing this in the formulas of X and Y, how we can write it as X1 Y1 is equal to X2 Y2 is equal to K. Only the variables are changing. We can use either A, B, or we can use X, Y. This can be written as, also written as X1 by X2 is equal to Y2 by Y1 is equal to K. These are the two formulas that we will use while solving the equation, sums. Let's take an example of inverse proportion. Example is 6 pipes are required to fill a tank in 1 hour 20 minutes. Here it is 1 hour and 20 minutes. We have to convert it into minutes. That is 1 hour is 60 minutes. So 60 plus 20, that is 80 minutes. That will be 80 minutes. How long will it take if only 5 pipes of the same type are used? So for 6 pipes it takes 80 minutes. So for 5 pipes, how much? So we have to do this way. That is, number of pipes is 6. Here I have taken 6 and 5 number of pipes, and time is 80, and this X is the value that we have to find for, that is the number of that is time taken by number of pipes, 5 pipes to fill the tank. So according to our inverse formula, what was our inverse formula? Was X1 Y1 is equal to X2 Y2. So here it will be inverse only, because as the number of pipes increases, the time will decrease. So here pipe is decreasing, so time will increase. So let's find out X1. What is X1? 6 multiplied by 80 is equal to X multiplied by 5. Okay. This X2 I have taken here as this. You can write it this way also. Now X2 will be equal to this. We can 5 we can bring it here. So 6 multiplied by 80 divided by 5. So X2 is equal to 96. So 96 is the minutes. So if we have to convert it into hours, so 1 hour is 60 minutes. So it would be 1 hour 36 minutes. So this way you have to use the inverse proportion formula.